This story is not what you think it is, and it begins with a set of bold photos that shocked fans, sparked long talks, and changed how people saw a famous face from classic Hollywood, images that were whispered about, printed in magazines, and discussed at dinner tables, with some people calling them brave while others called them too much, yet no one ignored them, because the woman behind these photos was Jayne Mansfield. And the choices she made still make people curious, and if you stay with me, you will see that the story behind these photos is far more interesting than the photos alone, because Jayne Mansfield was more than a pretty face. She was smart, focused, and understood how attention worked. She was born in Pennsylvania, studied music, learned many languages, and worked very hard to enter the movie world. And during the 1950s, Hollywood was strict and controlled by powerful studios where young actresses were told how to dress, how to speak, and how to behave. But Jayne understood these rules and also knew how to bend them. Her look made her famous quickly with blonde hair, a bright smile, and a curvy body that made her stand out. Studios pushed her as a rival to Marilyn Monroe, and the press loved this story. While Jayne played along but always stayed in control of her image, knowing that photos could open doors, start talks, and keep her name in the news. And at a time when most stars stayed safe, she chose risk. Her photo shoots became bolder, outfits became smaller, and the line between fashion and shock became very thin. And one set of photos showed her wearing a G-string style bottom that left very little hidden, images made to grab attention, and they did exactly that, causing loud and mixed reactions where some fans felt excited by her fearless style while others felt shocked and even upset. Newspapers printed the photos with careful wording while radio hosts joked and argued about them. And for many people, this was the first time they saw a movie star push limits so openly. And while these photos helped her stay in the spotlight, they also came with a cost, because some studios saw her as too risky and serious roles became harder to get. Yet Jayne understood the price of fame and continued choosing her own path because she believed being seen was better than being forgotten, and behind the bold images was a woman trying to control her own story. Using her looks as a tool in an industry run mostly by men, knowing people were watching and deciding what they would see, making the G-string photos not just about skin but also about power, choice, and staying visible. And over time, these photos became part of her legend as new generations discovered them and argued about their meaning, with some seeing fun and freedom while others saw pressure and pain, turning Jayne Mansfield into a symbol of how fame can lift a person up and also hold them back at the same time. And if you wonder why these images still matter, it is because they show a turning point and remind us that stars are real people making hard choices, with Jayne taking risks so she would not fade away, and whether people loved her or judged her, she made sure the world noticed. And something many people forget is that Jayne was not careless or lost because she planned her moves, watched reactions, and adjusted when needed. And the photos that seemed shocking were part of a bigger plan to stay important in a fast-changing world. And now imagine being watched by millions, judged by strangers, and written about by people who never met you, because that was Jayne world where every outfit, every photo, and every move became a headline. And the G-string photos were only one chapter, but they show how strong the need for attention can be, since fame can feel exciting but also heavy. And her story asks an important question about how far someone would go to be seen and what they would give up along the way. Because Jayne Mansfield made her choice in front of cameras and the world reacted, which is why these photos still spark talk many years later. And if you enjoyed this full breakdown, you should keep watching until the very end and share your thoughts, asking yourself if you see these images as bold expression or as a sign of pressure, because your opinion matters and this space is for open talk. And stories like this help us see fame more clearly. And if you want more untold moments from classic stars, you can support the channel and continue watching, because your time here means a lot and your views keep these stories alive. And until the next story, keep learning, keep thinking, and keep looking beyond the surface, because small details often reveal truths that photos alone can never fully explain for curious viewers everywhere.